Fred and Shelley Hexum.
Yes.
We found you here in Sioux City, and I first met you in Austin, Minnesota.
Over the air.
Over the air. Never met you before. And then through a whole bunch of things that happened, I sent you an email and said, would you help us out with this faith story? We need somebody to sit with the people who are telling their story to help them tell. And you said yes.
Sure did.
Why?
Well, I think I said yes because we're all very busy people. And Shelley and I, we work at Channel 9 KCAU TV in Sioux City, so we're busy like everyone else. And in busy schedules, there's not always every opportunity to help every time someone needs help, or to do something for the church every time the church has an activity going on or something like that. We work really crazy schedules. Actually, we work at night.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard the opportunity to do this, I thought, well, now there's something that I can do that hopefully relies a little bit on some of the experience and skills that we have. And I thought,
you're pros.
Well, minor league.
Yeah.
But this is something that we can do to help the church that we love so much. So we thought, sure, we'll do it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a way that, God gives all of us different gifts, and we all have these different talents that we're supposed to use. And, God has given us the gift of speaking and talking to people and getting people to talk. And so this is just kind of a way that we can give back, in one way.
Play
like
it
I
forward
can't,
or something
exactly,
like that.
I can't play the organ, but somebody else has, that talent. And so we all have kind of our gifts, and together we create one church.
Yeah.
Well, the people watching this don't know we've been visiting for a while, and this has just been a delightful to visit, to get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
And Fred, I put the question to you because here we're asking people at the assembly to, come forward, tell your faith story, or tell a story when the church has been at its best. And so I said, well, Fred, what story would you tell about the church where you think the church is at its best? And are you willing to share that
absolutely,
again?
Absolutely. And for anybody else wondering, it's really not hard to share. It's really not that hard.
It doesn't
hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
No. And you can just kind of take it at your own pace. And we encourage everyone to share. We want to get as many people as possible because that's going to make this a success. So in answer to your question, this is just my example, but in my line of work, I've moved around the country quite a bit. I'm originally from eastern Iowa. I grew up in Dubuque, and I went to UNI. Then I moved out to New York City. I lived in New Jersey for a time. I went back to grad school at Mississippi State. Then I moved to Minnesota. And now I'm finally back to Iowa.
You aren't even a pastor's kid.
I'm not even a pastor's kid, and I've moved around
My
that
children
much.
tell me all about that move,
Yeah, so I've moved around a lot, and I've lived in different cultures, too, in the different parts of the United States. And every time I've moved somewhere new, I haven't known a soul when I've moved to that new place. But I've always found that the church is there, and even if you don't know the people at the church in a personal sense, you feel like you know them, and that barrier isn't there, where no matter who you are, you're accepted when you walk through the door and even loved. And that's really quite a dramatic display of grace when you're in some place new, to have that kind of a radical hospitality that I have experienced in the church in many different congregations.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon you have genuine friends and people that support you, and that's just what you need when you're in a new spot. So on multiple occasions I have experienced that grace, and to me that is when the church has been at its best in extending that radical grace and hospitality.
You've been a recipient.
Yes, very much so.
Wow. And welcoming people. We
Right.
talk about that all the time in church, don't
Yep.
we? That indeed is, we're God, we use our hands, but we do God's work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm so glad that you've agreed to do this. Do you want to say anything more about our Saturday taping and all that? What are people supposed to do?
Well, just show up and talk to us, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's
that
all you
easy.
have to do. You
It's
just
that
have to
easy.
talk. I mean, we're not scary people.
Right.
Not in the least.
Right. If someone shares something and then they decide that they don't want that to be used, this can all be edited and
it's easy. It takes 10 minutes, and you're in and out.
Right. And we'll coach you on what to say, too. It's not a matter of you have to come in here with it all scripted out and you have to write it all out 2 weeks ahead of time. You can just come in with some even vague ideas, and we'll help you flesh that out and get some concrete things going. And it does not have to be hard or time-consuming at all.
Basically, it's just like coffee hour after church,
Yep.
you know, when you're talking to your friends or you're talking to your kid or your grandkid, you know.
We're just going to sit around the table and talk.
And talk, and
Well,
that's all it is.
I thank you for allowing us to record this
Sure.
and this little promotion for the people out there. We're looking forward to Saturday of the Assembly, Saturday afternoon, right?
That's right. And track one of us down if you see us. You have questions ahead of time.
But Fred, what's the weather going to be like?
Oh, wow. This is in May. Wow.
Yeah.
I can do it for 7 days out. 7 weeks, I don't think I can.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
You bet.
We'll see ya.
Yep.